You ever wake up thinking your biggest problem will be making a cup of coffee before sunrise and instead find out you're suddenly at war over your own driveway? Yeah, me neither. At least not until the HOA rolled in with their maps and their lawyers and tried to steal the ground right out from under my boots. Let me tell you, when folks say pick your battles, I doubt they're talking about concrete, but that's exactly what this turned into: a full-blown Cold War over 180 feet of Colorado hillside that I poured with my own two hands. So picture this: the air that morning is crisp, that kind of clean mountain sharpness you only get high up, and I'm standing there mug in hand just watching the first gold streaks hit the pines. I'd only been up on this land for a few weeks, trying to shake off 2 decades of grinding for the Texas Department of Transportation, building highways for other people, sweating details most folks never even see. But now I'm home. 20 acres my cabin, and well, a road that was more of a rumor than reality. You ever driven over a road so bad you start naming the boulders you hit twice a day? That was me dodging potholes, cursing out loud to nobody. Finally, I hit my limit, pulled out the plans, called in a crew, and built myself a proper driveway. We're talking poured concrete, real drainage, 3 months of work, a mountain of receipts, and the kind of satisfaction you feel deep in your bones when you roll up a brand new stretch of road and it's your name on the mailbox at the end. Cost me a fortune. But what's the point of a home if you can't get to your front door without blowing out your suspension? That first week I felt like I'd cracked the code. Mornings started with strong coffee sun bleeding over the ridgeline, tires humming on fresh pavement. I was happy. Then one morning there it is, a letter in my mailbox, the kind of envelope that practically hisses when you open it. Ridge Pine Peaks Homeowners Association, it says. I nearly laugh out loud. I don't live in Ridge Pine Peaks. That's a mile or two down the hill, gated homes, matching mailboxes, folks who probably file complaints about the angle of their neighbor's sunflowers. I open it anyway. Maybe it's some neighborly welcome a pie, or who knows, a coupon for lawn service. Nope. It's a bill. Says I owe $100 for unauthorized use of community infrastructure. According to them, I've been driving on their road. Unless their road is made of pine needles and deer poop, I haven't touched it. My driveway starts and ends on my land, doesn't so much as sniff their boundary. I shrugged, tossed the letter on the counter, promised myself I'll clear it up later. Life gets busy, you know how it is. Coffee needs brewing. Wood needs splitting. 5 days go by. Another envelope shows up. Now it's final warning, new amount, fresh threats. I call the number, just an endless loop about garden gnomes and non-compliant holiday decor. At this point, I figure it's a mix-up, a paperwork slip. I forget about it. Until one morning, heading down to the highway, my exit's blocked by a giant white SUV. Out steps a guy in a security vest, hand on his belt, like he's expecting a showdown. Sir, you are not authorized to use this road, he says, all flat and official. I point out this is my road, I built it. He doesn't blink, just recites some nonsense about infrastructure access and payment. I realize then, this isn't an accident, it's a shakedown. I threaten to call the sheriff. He finally moves slow enough I catch every letter on his shiny HOA badge. That's when I start digging. I go to the county office, ask about boundaries, and the clerk pulls up a map. There it is, my driveway outlined in red, right inside the HOA's claimed land. My stomach drops. My land, my sweat, now magically theirs according to some computer file. I leave with a fistful of documents and a bad feeling, head spinning. They aren't just confused. They're rewriting the rules, and my name is now on their turf. Back home, I pull out every paper I own, deed surveys, old receipts, lay them out like some true crime scene. My driveway never crosses their land. But that new map, it shows a big red finger snaking right up the hill, swallowing my driveway whole. I march back to the county office, ask for a certified copy of that map. The clerk hands it over, and there's my name, supposedly approving the whole thing. Only I haven't signed my name in cursive since high school. I snap a photo, text it to my old friend Hal back in Texas. Guy used to do forensic work on signatures. He calls back, says, "That's a forgery, not even a good one." Now I'm pissed. I get home and things have escalated. They've put up a barrier, a parking gate keypad sign across my own road. I film everything, fly the drone, document every inch. Sheriff shows up, says it's a civil issue, suggests I take it to court. So I do what any reasonable man would. I cut that gate down and film myself doing it. Let the judge sort it out. Then comes the letter hand-delivered, accusing me of vandalism, demanding almost $400 for damages. No name, just community compliance. They call me resident like I'm part of their Stepford colony. I hire a lawyer, Sylvia Sharp, as attack speaks legalese, the way most people talk football scores. She says they're nuts, but we can bury them. File an injunction, prep a countersuit. She warns me they'll try to provoke you. Too late, Sylvia. I already took bolt cutters to their little empire. The following week is quiet, but you know that feeling like the silence before a thunderstorm. That's what it's like. HOA cars idling near my entrance. A guy in a Lexus snapping photos with a lens big enough to see into my fridge. I can't sleep. It's not fear. It's that crawling feeling under your skin when you know someone's out to twist reality and you're the only one who knows the truth. Next morning, I meet Sylvia at the courthouse. She's already got a surveyor lined up ready to draw boundary lines in concrete and blood if need be. The surveyor, a gruff guy who looks like he's spent his whole life arguing with bulldozers, spends 2 days marking coordinates. Results come back, HOA's map is fiction. My land, my road, untouched by their jurisdiction. But here comes the twist. One of the signatures on the HOA expansion is Jeremy Cross. Sylvia's eyes light up. He's a disgraced surveyor, lost his license for faking reports. This isn't just a neighborly spat, it's a playbook run in a new county. We pile up the evidence, file a suit for $2.3 million. Obstruction, fraud, destruction, the whole 9 yards. The HOA doubles down, files their own suit, claiming I'm obstructing community access. They even include a satellite photo with my road labeled as their arterial, but the timestamp's weeks before I even poured the concrete. They didn't even bother to Photoshop out the weeds. Sylvia can barely stop laughing, but the games get nastier. I catch guys in vests trying to sabotage my drainage with crowbars. Gravel dumped across the lane, candy wrappers from the HOA landscaper like some kind of sick calling card. I document everything, file reports. Deputies more interested now. This is property damage, maybe a felony. The repair estimates just keep climbing, and so do the legal fees. Then out of the blue, a guy named Harris Brinkley calls, used to landscape for the HOA. He tells me they tried to pay him under the table to dump gravel up my slope. He refused, but some of his buddies didn't. He's nervous, but he's seen enough. Eventually, he comes by signs and affidavit. Karen, the HOA president, has been forging inspection reports, paying unlicensed contractors, expanding the HOA one scam at a time. My road is just the beginning, a wedge to force in new fees, new rules, control over anyone in spitting distance. With Harris's testimony, the DA takes notice. Cease work order lands on the HOA's desk, but Karen's not finished. She starts spreading rumors, says I'm blocking public roads, suing the whole neighborhood. But the real kicker comes when another ex-board member, Annabelle, shows up with a stack of old emails. Turns out Karen's been forging maps, shifting digital boundaries, betting nobody would notice. One email even hints she planned to fudge the lines to encourage compliance. That's not just fraud, that's a blueprint for how you steal property in plain sight. Then comes the real justice. Karen's arrested, fraud, conspiracy, you name it. The news spreads, folks start talking, and for the first time, I breathe easy. The county suspends the fake map, voids their claim. The HOA's board resigns, the accounts freeze, and my road finally gets certified as private, untouchable. But I'm not done. I propose a new law. Call it the Travis Road Act. Any privately built road properly surveyed and approved can never fall under HOA control. At first, folks laugh. Then they see the evidence, the maps, the footage, the signatures. The law passes first county, then state. Suddenly my headache has a name and a section number. I put up a new sign. Private road. Built, owned, and defended by C. Travis. Trespassers will be sued. That stretch of concrete cost me a small fortune, months of my life, a mountain of stress, and enough legalese to choke a law professor. But it's mine. No board, no map, no forged signature will ever take it. You know, I never planned to be that guy, the one who takes on the HOA and wins. I just wanted to get to my cabin without losing a tire. But the world's funny. Sometimes you have to fight for what's yours, not because it's easy, but because if you don't, the next guy's going to lose more than just a road. And the real lesson, paper is a weapon. Not just the contracts, the maps, the lawsuits, every little signature, every quiet boundary shift, it adds up. Power isn't always about who's right. Sometimes it's just about who can outlast the other and who brings receipts. So if you've ever thought, this couldn't happen to me, think again. Someone somewhere is always looking for an inch to take. In the end, justice landed right where it needed to. Karen sat in a cell. The HOA's power broke in my road safe. Maybe that's karma. Maybe it's just the system finally working for the little guy. I'll let you decide. But let me ask you this. Where's the line between protecting a community and stealing from your neighbor? Who gets to draw the maps and who gets left out when they do? I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below. Ever fought for something that should have been yours all along? Ever tangled with power? Or found the rules suddenly rewritten in the middle of the game? Let's talk about it. Where do you draw the line?